The New York State Athletic Commission has officially overturned the result of the Darren Davis vs. Lamont Roach fight, causing a huge stir in the boxing world. Fans who had been calling the fight a robbery finally got what they wanted. The numbers didn't lie. Roach landed more punches and jabs than Davis, revealing just how much the original decision favored Davis.
I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the...
Gilbert Mendoza had already mentioned that a rematch was in the works, but now with the commission stepping in, Tank Davis is no longer the winner. His undefeated record, which he had held onto for years, is now gone. The backlash was immediate.
New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the results of the fight, and it's based on that knockdown, which is extremely important, because if that is ruled...
Davis, who had been hinting at a rematch in May, is now forced into it under very different circumstances. What was meant to be a simple title defense has turned into damage control. His fans, who had insisted he was the face of boxing, are scrambling to explain the loss. But Davis didn't even wait for them to come up with excuses. He offered one of his own, blaming his stylist for his struggles in the ring. "She put grease in my hair," Davis said, "so when I was sweating, the grease got into my eyes and it burned." But instead of sympathy, the crowd at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn erupted with boos. "This is a real fact," he continued, pointing to his hair. "I just got it done. But it's all cool, man. They love you, then they hate you, and then they'll love you again." Fans didn't buy that excuse and quickly took to social media to poke fun at Davis. They shared memes and joked about hair grease, with many tagging Tank's stylist. But the stylist wasn't having it. She fired back immediately, posting on Instagram, "I did his hair on Wednesday. It's Saturday. He did press, the gym, and the weigh-in." She called out Tank, saying there was no way he could blame the hair product. Fans began siding with the stylist, saying that if Davis was blaming hair grease, he had bigger issues to deal with. Some even compared it to old-school boxing excuses like blaming ring walk outfits for slowing fighters down. This wasn't just an excuse. It was about a fighter, once thought unbeatable, getting exposed in a way no one expected. The overturned decision changed how people viewed Tank. He had always been the guy who got the benefit of the doubt, the knockout artist who could never lose, because the business of boxing wouldn't allow it. But now, with the commission admitting a technical error, that image is gone.
Without that being counted a knockdown, look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there.
The commission admitted that due to a technical issue, they couldn't review the replay in time during the crucial round. As a result, the referee's in-ring decision stood. The commission assured the public that steps would be taken to prevent this from happening again. They made it clear that they were committed to maintaining the integrity of boxing and ensuring future issues like this are avoided.
Definitely an off night for Tank, but Lamont Roach is the guy, man. He showed up, and Tank gave him a tremendous amount of respect in the fight, and we saw why. I mean, he's a great counterpuncher, he's very high boxing IQ. He always says, "I hit harder than people think, I hit harder than my record says." He stunned Tank several times.
And just like that, Tank's invincible image was shattered. The system that had protected him for so long failed him, and now his biggest critics were celebrating. One of those critics is Terrence Crawford. Crawford has never been a fan of Davis's flashy lifestyle, often accusing him of focusing more on social media fame than real boxing. For years, Crawford said that Tank was being protected, avoiding the toughest competition, and still being sold as a superstar. Now, with the fight officially overturned, Crawford couldn't resist taking a jab. This dude has been talking like he runs the sport, but now the sport just told him otherwise.
Maybe the opponent, Lamont Roach, actually got stronger moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting.
Crawford didn't stop there. He went after Tank's fan base, saying, "All y'all talking about Tank being the face of boxing? Well, the face just took an L. Tank's once perfect record now had a blemish that couldn't be erased." And to Crawford, this was karma. He had previously criticized Tank for avoiding fights with Devon Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Now he was watching Tank lose to Lamont Roach, someone who wasn't even supposed to be a threat. Crawford has always believed that Tank had it easy, taking minimal risks and waiting for the perfect opponent. But now that the fight was overturned, it all started to unravel. Ryan Garcia, who has had a long-running feud with Tank, also jumped in to rub it in. The moment the commission overturned the result, Ryan posted on social media, "I told y'all, he lost that fight, the commission did the right thing." Ryan has been publicly calling Tank protected and overrated for years, ever since Tank knocked him out. But now with the official decision, Ryan felt vindicated.
A lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it.
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel like pulling though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw, you know. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning. Moving a little bit too much.
Tank fans have been lying to themselves, Ryan continued. He isn't that good. He just got saved every time he fought. Ryan didn't stop there. He posted a video of Tank taking a knee against Roach, the moment that caused all the controversy, and captioned it "No Heart, Quitter Energy." Tank had always been known as the bully, the street fighter, the knockout king. But now, he was the guy who took a knee. Ryan was making sure the world saw it.
Floyd Money Mayweather, one of the greats, one of the legends, one of the GOATs, said to himself, "Sugar Tank Davis." So we know that Tank Davis loves to be painting his nails, wearing stilettos, wearing them purses. How many pay-per-view buys does this Roach Jr. coming up for 130? How many buys do you think this does, my brother?
I mean, 350.
Shakur Stevenson had been watching the situation quietly, but once the decision was official, he had to speak up. Tank and Shakur had been exchanging words for months, teasing a potential fight. Tank called Shakur boring, while Shakur said Tank was all hype. Now, with Tank officially losing, Shakur had all the proof he needed. He simply posted, "I knew what it was, now let's see if he still..."
But look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't gonna shit on him.
Okay.
We still gotta see each other. He say he wanna fight me, so we gonna fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I thought Lamont won.
You thought Lamont won. Got you.
Shakur went live on Instagram shaking his head. "You see how the boxing gods work," he said. "That man was out here acting like he was the boogeyman, calling me boring, but now look, he got whooped, he got dropped, and he got his W taken away." Then, Shakur made his challenge. Now he can fight me and stop running. With Tank's record gone and his aura of invincibility shattered, the big question became, what's next? If Tank wants to prove himself, he'll have to step up.
Looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont, like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
Lamont Roach, who is preparing for the biggest fight of his life against Tank Davis, knows he has to stay calm and sharp. If he can get past Davis's usual defense and pressure, Roach has a real shot at taking him down. Davis has made some unexpected moves in recent months. His fans were left uncertain after Davis suddenly announced that his highly anticipated fight with Roach was canceled. No explanation, just a social media post that left
After preparation going to this fight with Lamont. Fans, they kind of sleeping on Lamont, but you know Lamont's fighting style. Y'all fought.
Yeah, people don't know him, but Lamont is a good fighter. Like he ain't no slouch.
Fans immediately speculated that it might be another one of Tank's emotional meltdowns. But just as things were looking uncertain, Lamont Roach and his father stepped in to clear things up. They reassured everyone that the fight was still scheduled, and despite the brief confusion, the fight was still on for March 1st, 2025, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
Ready for 2 fights, but yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
Roach, like many others, was surprised by the rumors, but rather than getting caught up in the drama, he kept his focus. He acknowledged Tank's unpredictable nature, saying, "Davis is like a wild card. You never know what he's going to do next." Roach knows he can't be distracted by Davis's eccentricities and is keeping his focus on preparing for what could be the fight of his career. 15-15. Roach is mentally sharp and ready to face his toughest challenge yet. He's learned not to let Tank's unpredictable behavior throw him off course. For Roach, it's all about the fight, and nothing will distract him from that goal. Beating Davis would change everything for him, his career, his life, his legacy. But for now, he's keeping his eyes on the prize.
And it's going to go, Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go.
As the fight draws closer, Roach is staying locked in and training hard. While other fighters like Kesson Davis might struggle with weight cuts, Tank is staying lean and prepared. He doesn't rely on drastic weight cuts to gain an advantage, as he's naturally a lightweight.
Able to solve Tank Davis, what do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the results.
Move that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
Interestingly, Tank's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has been absent from recent camps, leading to speculation that the two may have parted ways. Ford has been a constant presence in Tank's career, so his absence hasn't gone unnoticed.
It's going to be a party on your floor.
I'm going to let y'all know, son, his father was up here shaking on the, what's his name? He was shaking on the.
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? And it gotta be.
Leonard Ellerby, who knows Davis well, commented on Tank's recent retirement announcement, saying, I understand where he's coming from. Things change when you have kids. Life is different. Ellerby also noted how Tank sees things differently now than he did a few years ago, adding, the pressure from fans can take a toll. There's more to life than just boxing.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them.
Don't
bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah.
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's his name? He was shaking on the
Pops.
Future may look bright for Tank, but there are plenty of hungry competitors like Andy Cruz, Edwin De Los Santos, and Kesson Davis chasing him. These are tough fights, and Tank knows it. But at this stage of his career, he may not want to put in the extreme effort needed for such high-stakes matchups.
What? Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just cut it out. Huh? 100?
Boxing is a brutal sport. Many fighters end up with serious health issues, some permanent. Ellerby shared his thoughts, saying, I understand the philosophy of making your mark and then leaving. It's hard to ignore how popular Tank is, though. A big payday might just bring him back.
Talking, that's when y'all get them. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit with it.
For real. So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
He got the whole hood over there.
Like, twisted up.
Lamont Roach, a current champion at 130 pounds, is stepping up in weight to fight Davis. Though he's considered the underdog, Roach has the skills and confidence to make things interesting. Davis, who hasn't fought since June 2024, knows he can't afford to be complacent.
A draw? Okay then, we got a draw. It was a draw. A draw? Y'all still trying to say I can't do this? I can't? Okay.
He's vowed to stay in peak condition, ready to face whoever comes his way. Fans will be watching to see if Tank can prove himself and leave the ring with his legacy intact.